We have a lot of coastline here in the Lego City now. Holy, we've got to create the coastline for the entire island. And yeah, there's been a lot of concern about the island being square. The wood platforms that you put on there are square. The testing rock that you did over here is square. Don't make it square. Okay, well, today in this video, we're going to start working on the coastline for the island so I can truly demonstrate what I plan to do with the coastline and demonstrate how it's not going to be a square, but rather we plan on swerving it just like we did with the beach the other day. Should I be working on the beach? Should I continue working on that? Probably. Is Mrs. Bricksie here to help me with that? No, so I'm not going to do it because I know she loves laying thousands of tiles so much. I'm just kidding. It's going to be a lot quicker to do when Mrs. Bricksie is here and we can just sort of get it done all in one shot. Plus, over here across from this water, there's going to be rock work and stuff that's bulging out. So before I go ahead and add all the water detail here, I want to make sure I get my rocks put in, or the coastline rather, so that we know where this water detail needs to go. We know where the deep spots need to go, where it needs to be black, blue, azure, whatever it may be. So I think working on a little bit of the coastline along here should come next. And you know me, I like changing up my day, and I'm just so excited about this project because there's so much to do and so much variety of stuff to do. So that's pretty awesome. So I think I'm gonna work on these, or on the coastline in chunks, and I think I'm going to make modules that are probably 5 base plates or 50 inches. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to make that one big chunk. I think that's going to be the way to do it. Starting probably one away from the causeway there and going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh, that works out so beautifully. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's not as perfect as I would have originally anticipated because I sort of want this chunk of 3, the right angle here, to be a single module. So I guess we'll do 1, 4, 1, 5, another 5, and then we'll do this section of 3 for the corner. That sort of makes more sense, right? Yeah, it does. But yeah, super cool. I'm excited about this. I've already got my part set up upstairs. And now I've got my base plates and my coffee. So yeah, we got the first 2 sections, so the 4 in the corner, may as well start with the corner, and then we've got all our DBG parts and some water detail parts there. Good to go, you know. We're ready to add some water detail, some rocks, and yeah, I'm excited about this. It's a coastline, everybody. I'm gonna throw on an audiobook and get started. So I am going to be using the rectangular rock panels for this just because I don't have enough of the 2x dark bluish gray brick. I would love to build it all with brick, but oh my gosh, it would get very expensive and I just can't take that on at this particular moment, and I have these on hand. So I'm putting the rock panels in a staggered line, and I'm also altering the height of them by adding some dark bluish gray bricks on the bottom of some of them. So they are at different heights and they're not in a line, so they are staggered both vertically and horizontally. And then of course I start to curve around the corner. So I brought it all the way out almost to the edge of the base plate, and then it curves around using some of the corner rock panels. That was the easy part, just laying all the panels. Now I need to fill in the 2x6 open spot on the top, which is actually a plate lower. So I fill it in using 4x6 plates, and I support those in the back using a 1x2x5 panel with 2 plates. That's going to give us a bunch more studs to bridge onto when I cap this like rock panel or cliff edge. Now I need to create a substructure behind those rock panels because I want to top this with dark bluish gray plate. And to create that substructure, I use white 1x16 bricks and also more of those 1x2x5 panels. You can also use 2x2 brick, 1x2 brick, whatever it may be. So I put a line of the 1x16s at the right height all the way along the back of the base plate, and then I try to stretch across with whatever size plate in dark gray. 16x16, 8x16, 6x4, 6x6, 2x16, whatever it may be. There's not really a rhyme or reason or a method. I'm just trying to fill in the space and bridge across to the top of those rock panels while using as few parts as possible. That's my mission. But you know what? That is a tough mission when you want to top all these rock panels. Definitely going to use a lot of parts, but I think the end result looks pretty good. So yeah, the base construction for the first two modules looks pretty good. Granted, there is only like one angle so far, like it's tapering outward and then goes around the corner, but I think that gives us a better shape for the island. And I can go through and of course add like another layer of plate here. So like we could have some green and we could have vegetation and benches and maybe tan, dark tan trails going through there or whatever it may be, just like a lookout point or anything like that, right? So we can create stories on this surface. And the rock does a pretty good job of eliminating the amount of studs which are actually going to be dedicated to water. And another thing that we can do is go through here with like tan and dark tan, and we could add little sections of like beach down here, like little hidden nooks. For example, when I start coming out this way now, we could create a nook beach down here, and it's just like this little hidden, you know, like 16 stud or 24 stud beach where people come down and they hang out on the water there or do some fishing, maybe cast a line. And you can create like little rock platforms, maybe build it up with some more brick and have rock coming out, and it's just like boulders and stuff all around. So that might look pretty cool, like the ocean sort of splashing up against it. Yeah, so there's just so much opportunity with this coastline, which I'm so excited about. I think the coastline is just going to give us just so much opportunity for storytelling and messing around with different things like that. But you got to start somewhere, and we're starting with the base construction here today. So the next ones that I want to take care of are, of course, moving toward the causeway. We have a bunch more plates there, 11 total, 2 sections of 5 and then the one for the causeway. But I'm thinking it's going to come out and then go back in because we have the beach right there. So I want to leave some space there because that'll be more realistic, and come back in there. And then as we head toward the causeway, it'll swerve back out. So we've got sort of this nice consistent swerve all the way along the coastline. Did you notice something there? I started throwing down some base plates just so we could, or like decorated base plates, just so we could or can visualize what this place might look like when we have some details. Right now it's just like a curve road right here, right? I just don't have any more road plate packs, but where you see the tan plates will be a continuation of the road, but it's not going to be turn, 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 but it's going to be angled roads in all the different sections where you see the conglomerate of tan base plates. Just like the angled road there. That used to be a triple turn, but now it's an angled road, and that's what I'm so excited about experimenting with here. It's going to be so neat to have an angled road there, an angled road there, an angled road here, coming this way, an angled road there, an angled road there. It's going to be so cool, right? But we've got to start with the coastline, and I'm glad I was able to put a modular building there and some road plates and just MILS plates just to get it square, and also just sort of start to visualize what it's going to look like with modular buildings and custom builds on this island. But once again, I've got to start with the coastline. We've got to get the entire coastline done. You can see how quickly that went together. That was pretty cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the details yet. So there's no slopes, no vegetation, none of the bursts of color. It's just all dark gray at this point, but it is a great start. You got to start somewhere. How many times have I said that in this video? I don't know, too many. We may as well get back to work on the other sections there. I've pretty much got to do the exact same thing here, but it's going to be a little bit easier because I don't have a corner to go around. So I'm staggering those rock panels. They bulge out a little bit, then they go back in. And because there's no corner, it's going to be easier to top as well. I use the exact same method. I put those 4x16 plates with the support in behind. I run some 1x16 bricks at the same height supported by the 1x2x5 panels, and then I bridge across using random dark bluish gray plate. And that's the first section done. I think that looks pretty good. That's 5 base plates. The next section is going to be a little bit smaller. It only has to be 4 base plates. But once again, doing the exact same thing, making sure to stagger those rock panels, and then we're approaching the causeway at the very end there. So I'm going to have it turn a little bit more using one of the corners. but just making sure to fill in the whole top there. This is gonna look epic once we get it placed next to the island and we add details to it, because once again, this is just like the base construction for these sections of rock. We're gonna be adding color, we're gonna be adding vegetation, trails, whatever it may be, just like more details. Another thing I want to take care of is building as many 32 by 32 MILS plates as I possibly can with all my remaining 16 by 16 plates and also the 1 by 2 bricks and 2 by 2 bricks, because it's going to help us create the grid down there, and it's just something I like to do. I like to get the grid and base construction complete. It just makes it so much easier to align and visualize the end product. There's the swerving coastline. So you can see the effect there. Sort of moves in and out, swerves along against the platform. So I think that works out beautifully. Pretty happy with that. I am going to have to do a little bit of reconstruction on the end here. I actually started deconstructing it a little bit because we're going to have to accommodate that causeway. And I started coming out a little bit aggressively there, so I just need to fix that up. That's why there's that exposed 1 by 16 brick there. But I did put some corner pieces in, and that spacing right there is going to be perfect because the corner panels come right to the edge of the base plate, and there's 4 studs between the road, which I actually tacked down, and I merged the 2 base plates that it sits on together. And the reason there's going to be 4 studs of spacing between the rock and the road is because I'm going to extend the road by 2 studs, and I'm also going to add 2 studs for a barricade, so I should be able to just fill that in, and then it'll probably snug up against the causeway, maybe have a little bit of movement back and forth, just like our angled or swervy coastline. But yeah, tack that down. That looks good, and I'm pretty happy with the alignment of that, so I think we'll run with that once I go about constructing this, which will probably be constructed in 2 pieces because this is 6 base plates. So I'll probably construct that in 2 different modules that pop in place. So that'll be a really fun construction. I can't wait to do that. Maybe that will be the next thing that I work on. But I'm the type of guy that just needs to create a grid and needs to get everything aligned before I can even start to visualize what this place is going to look like. So that's why I made all the MILS plates. And I swapped up a bunch of the green base plates for the dark gray and light gray. And then the tan and these odd shaped or odd colored ones represent road. I think this will be the layout. Could change, and it probably will change, but I did change it up a little bit already. So the road, I'm hoping, is like, goes here, there's a little angled section, straight, turn, big angled section connecting all the way around, and then connecting to the causeway there. And wherever you see little like half base plate changes, like right there, that's going to be angled as well. So I think that'll work out nicely. I hope. You know, there's a lot of people who don't want me to put road on here at all. I think there needs to be road in a Lego city, so I'm definitely going to be adding road, but I hope this road is different than the ones from the Lego city because there's a lot more angles worked into it. And when you have an angled road, there's a lot of room on either side of it, so we can do some interesting things on either side of these angled roads. It is truly hard to visualize exactly what it's going to look like and play around with it because I don't have all the roads or the parts to build the roads on hand or to even just like lay them out, but it is what it is, you know. I think this was a really good visual here, and yeah, I think that needed to be done because now we can continue working on our coastline water. Pretty sweet. So yeah, there we go, everybody. I think we made some pretty good progress today. I think the coastline is coming along great. The MILS plates pulled it together quite well. It's making it a lot easier for me to visualize what this place is going to look like. And when you look at all the MILS plates there, it's going to be a lot of space for parks and trees and greenery and also buildings. So yeah, pretty exciting project. Hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Very well.